Hello everyone, welcome to Cornflower Crafts. My nickname is Corn, comes from one of my names. And today I want to show you some of the tags I've been making using the same music sheets that I got from a thrift store. Not sheets, but the music from a book. I think it was a teacher's book to help with learning instruments. And the tags this time, you can cut them to be any size you want. You'll see I've gone from small to, let's see, this one is 3.5 inches all the way to 5. These, as you see, are thin to fit into journals and not take up too much room. I haven't cut the threads off the bottom yet because depending on how I use them, there's a possibility I might keep them that way. I absolutely love when they're all to play with these. I think it's very therapeutic, you know. And on the back, as you see, there's just torn paper on the front. And then on the back, there are die cuts of some graph paper that I ended up getting at TJ Maxx that was in like a little pad that was reduced to $1. So that's why I grabbed it. And so that I like to write between the lines, but the people who receive these may not. And so they have a blank spot there to journal on. So we've got this one. We've got this one. This one. This one. This one. Oh yeah, there were 2 dies that I used. 2 separate. Then we have one with a pocket. Let me put him like I want him. Another pocket. Another pocket. Like I said, they have different things on the back, different die cuts. And another pocket. And so I thought maybe we'd work on one. I know a lot of times I tell these little stories about when I was growing up, and oh, there's one there too. One hiding. They're so thin, you know. They're sturdy, but they're thin. There was one hiding behind there. So the thing is, I won't be telling any little stories about when I was young, growing up, or when I was traveling and living in many places in the U.S., mostly the South, not always. Some of the stuff, you know, that happened to me or anything like of that nature. I'll be talking about something that has upset me very much in my country. So, but we will be working on one of these, and that's what I'll be when it's Craft and Chat. That's what the chat is about today. Okay, so first I'm going to start on this. You'll see what I'm doing. Because I could go on and on about certain other things going on in my country, but this thing that happened recently, to me, enough is enough. Okay? Enough is enough. So, this is one with a pocket. Today I'll be doing one without. Like I said, this is what I'm using. This is I Don't Know When this book came out. Music book came out. I'm not sure. But as you see, the color is nice creamy color to begin with. what I do is there's definite ways you can cut it. You can cut it one way or the other, depending on how you want it to look. For me, I want my words to be read easily front and back, unless I cover them up with those, as you saw with the craft paper. Since they are tags, I didn't do just a single sheet like this because it would be too flimsy, but I don't want them too thick to make junk, my junk journals even, because my junk journals are thick to begin with, but even thicker. This is an old book, as you see, that I use for gluing. As I am also sewing these, as you know, you can use any glue you want, especially if you're not sewing them. One glue that a lot of people use is Fabri-Tac, because that is not water-based, so therefore your paper does not buckle in any way. I am doing this a lot of times when people sew items like this. They do not do the edges, because a lot of times they're sewing around the edges. They only put the glue stick in the middle. I'm not one of those people. I do it around the whole ticket. Okay. All right. So, see, it does with the glue stick. It will still lie flat. I'm going to put this over here. And let's put this here just to show you what we're working on. Before, like you didn't see before, when I took them out of that book, I used, let me show you, this ruler. Okay, deckled edge, is that what they call it? I'm not sure. I used that one, and I got that on Amazon a few years back, and that's how that comes out. Folded it over, like I said, so that I could read. You can do it so many ways, you know what I mean? You don't have to do it. Your words can go up and down. It can, maybe you love Sing Your Way Home. Maybe you love that and you want that to be shown. It can go this way. It's up to you. But then, you can cut this and cut the sides, any size you want. But I wanted it like this. The next thing that I do is I take this tag die, put it up to this music paper, take my scissors, cut right up against it. You can flip this over, as you know, and cut that way, but I do it this way because it's pretty quick if you're doing a bunch. You can tell my eyesight's acting up today. And there we go. And if you think, uh-oh, this is longer than this, because it is. I didn't have it on properly. There we go. Okay. I have gone ahead and changed the top of these sponges I got on clearance at Hobby Lobby. And I gave up my old one that I've had for years. It was the flat, Ranger ones. And this, as you see, my other one was so saturated with ink. I just loved it. As a time saver, it was wonderful. And I just adored it. And unfortunately, This one, it just needs more time in the ink, you know, because like I told y'all before, I've had someone say, goodness gracious, it looks like your edges are burned. I like it. I like that look, but that's me. You can also round these corners at the bottom if you would like. I would suggest if you're going to place a pocket here, you think you might in the future not round them. Of course, you can do a pocket with the rounded as well. It's just, if you don't round it, it's super easy, you know, to add a pocket later. I mean, super easy to do. Did I do front and, no, I do front and back. I know you're not used to this tone in my voice. Like I said, I have something I want to say, and it's very serious, so if I were to giggle or laugh, it's just out of nerves, because as you all know, the way all the things that my country is going through right now, it's best to laugh through it all, but there are certain, you know, you can't laugh through it all, because there is some pretty bad things going on. Okay. So the next thing that I do here, I have this paper that's got a great feel to it, great texture, but it is super thin, see? Super thin. The great thing about super thin is you can tear it so easily, you know? The roses in this one, as you see, they are lavender, very light lavender. The centers aren't even purple. I would just say dark lavender. I mean, purple to me is usually a very dark color. As you know, purple is made with red and blue. And it looks like they used quite a bit of white on this one. See how easily this tears. It tears extremely easily. I've got something, probably glue and stuff. Let's try to get this one out. See, it just tears beautifully. This is from Amazon. If you shop places like Temu or places like that, you will probably be able to find it as well. I personally don't shop on Temu, so I don't know for sure, but it is possible. And if you're thinking to yourself that I tear like I fussy cut, well, to a degree, to a degree, I do. This lets me, you know, so many papers don't let you. There's just no way. And since this has a straight edge, oh, but we're going over there, so we're going to have to go down here some. Okay. We're going to have to make this smaller. And I got rid of that leaf. Oh, that happens. Stuff like that happens. Okay. So yeah, that way it fits, and if anything goes over there, we can cut that off. What I want to talk about today is, first off, I've been hinting about politics going on in America today, and how half the country is supporting one candidate and half the other. You can't go by polls, because history has shown us that things can change. I'm not going to say either candidate's name. Well, first I want to tell you I'm an independent, and always have been. I vote with my heart and my head. Now, something was said recently that there's no way, and Handsome said to me, I told Handsome, I said, I've got to say something, and I want to say it to more than just you. And he said, and I quote, pick your battles wisely. Now, a lot of times, Hanson and I have been married, as you all know, a very long time, and we don't always listen to each other. But when he said that, I thought, okay, you're making sense. All right. What was said a few days ago that was more than I could handle, because it was just so disgusting to me, disturbing even, was about the Congressional Medal of Honor. Now, there are probably a lot of you, maybe there's a lot of you right here who are watching and listening to me right now, who have never known maybe someone in your family or a friend. You've never known them to work for the Department of Defense. Okay? Okay. That's probably more than people realize. And then there are others that will say, my uncle, my grandfather, my brother, my sister, my grandmother, That's the thing, so many times when people talk about our wonderful men and women in uniform, a lot of times they don't say and women. I have witnessed quite a few women in uniform in my lifetime. And let me tell you something. These women have my admiration and my respect. So do the men. I'm going to say, not only are men and women in uniform deserve our respect, but those who work for the Department of Defense, who are civilians as well. The thing about the Department of Defense is they, men and women with disabilities, physical disabilities and otherwise, as you all know, are not in active duty. The Department of Defense is not only fair and has been fair for many, many, many years, nothing new, in recognizing the value of men and women and what they can contribute to our armed forces. So, anyone working for the Department of Defense has my respect and admiration. I have seen with my own two eyes and heard with my own two ears things that constantly bring me hope and strength concerning them. What a lot of people don't understand is that these men and women will, it's always said they will die for they will lose their life. They are willing to lose their life for their country. But what a lot of people just, I don't know if it just doesn't, if they don't realize it for one reason or another, this, for their country, not just for the United States of America, but for anyone serving in other countries as well. They will literally die for you, for me, for your children, for your parents. They will literally die for every one of us that is an American. That's not a sweet thing to say. That's a fact, okay? And a lot of times, these men and women who get that Medal of Honor, it is for valor, okay? They are not handed out like candy on Halloween. They are handed out for, to be honest, I can't even digest all that these men and women go through for us. You can hear it on the news. You can see it on the news. But unless you're there, you don't know. These men and women, I tell you, a lot of times they have to leave their families to go and protect us. Sometimes they get to take the families along, but a lot of times they do not. Have you ever seen a father or mother say goodbye to their families and go off and defend us and defend others as well? Have you ever seen that? You know, I tell you, it's heartbreaking. But they do it because of a sense of duty and a sense of love for country. And guess what? Again, that means every one of us who are Americans. To say that the Medal of Honor is just given to anybody, and most of the time, I'm not quoting word for word because I get too mad and disgusted. Something to the effect of, they get they're shot up or dead. Now the Medal of Honor has been given to, I think it's over 300 men or women who have died in service. And that's true, but here's the deal. Men and women who have lost limbs, who have scars all over, inside and out, for us, deserves respect. Now, if you don't want to admire them, okay, nobody's forcing you. But if you don't respect them, nobody's forcing you to do that either. But there's no reason not to respect them. None whatsoever. Please understand that. Please understand that they are deserving of our respect. When they receive that Medal of Honor, there is a reason for it. And it should not be disrespected. And that's what I need to say. This is the battle I pick, because this is the battle I believe in 100%. And I'll tell you another thing. Even if I hadn't seen the things I had seen, even if I did not know some of our servicemen and women have that pleasure of knowing them, I would still feel this way. And I would hope that every American would feel the same way. Back to this. It can be sewn around. It can actually be sewn around this design as well. The pocket can be added. A die cut can be added to the back, or if you think that the recipient would like to write between the lines, there's more than enough room for that. And I want to thank you so much for joining me today. And I hope you have a wonderful morning, afternoon, or evening. Bye-bye, everyone. Have a good day.